Last night I dreamed. Okay, I'm alone and I'm walking around a flea market, and at a distance, off in a corner, I notice Rob Tyner, the lead singer for the MC5. He's looking at some men's coats. Eventually he turns around, he sees me, we make eye contact, I wave, he waves back. It's good to see him, even though he's dead. He's been dead for almost 20 years now. And I continue walking around the flea market, and I eventually stop at a table. It's just an old rickety folding table with a tablecloth draped over it and a bunch of junk on it, some toys mostly. And the dealer, seated behind the table, he's like a middle-aged guy. He's got blonde curly hair and a big blonde bushy mustache. He's wearing a red and white polka dot shirt, and he's got on khaki pants that are pulled like up high, like up to his chest. And he's wheelchair bound. So I have a look at what he's got on his table here. Again, it's mostly toys. And he yells at me. He looks up at me and he says, "Don't lean on the case. Don't you ever lean on the case." I look down at him. I said, "You don't have a case. You just have a table and a cloth and some junk on it. You don't even have a case." And he says, "They always lean on the case. All of them." And I wasn't going to bother asking with who them are. I didn't care anyways. I was interested in some little green plastic army men that he had on his table. I said, "Well, how much do you want for the green plastic army men?" He says, "Those aren't plastic and they're not for sale. Those army men are made out of hardened tapioca pudding." And I wasn't going to have this one. I said, "No, they're not. They're just plastic. Look, you've got a couple of them with the parachutes still on them. Will you sell me just those?" He said, "No, under no circumstances. You wouldn't be able to handle them. They're for display only." And then, he reached under his table and he pulled out an unopened package of 1968 Topps baseball cards. He says, "Maybe I can interest you in this, young man." And I said, "Well, I don't know, how much are you asking?" He's like, $190. I said, "No, I didn't plan on spending $190 this afternoon at the flea market." He said, "But this is the 1968 Topps series. You might find a Nolan Ryan rookie card in here." I said, "Well, yeah, that would be great. And I could sell it for more than I paid you for the pack, but I also might not get a Nolan Ryan rookie card. Look, I can't help you today, okay?" And then, things got really weird. He reaches under his table and he says, "Well, maybe I have something that's right up your alley." And he pulls out what I think is a laminated restaurant menu, and he hands it to me. And I look it over, and it is kind of a menu. It's a price listing for prostitutes that I guess he's pimping. I mean, he's got hair color, age, all of these different factors going into his price range. I'm blown away. I don't even say anything. I just drop the laminated hooker price listing down on top of his toys. And at that moment, a couple of workers from, they looked like workers from a mental institution, but not like the way the employees in institutions look now. These guys looked like from the 1920s or 30s. They had the all-white uniforms. Two of them, one on each side of him, just converge, and one of them's got a fire extinguisher, and he sprays him, the dealer, he sprays the dealer with his fire extinguisher, and then the two of them tackle him and drag him away. And right then, Lyle knocked over this toy that I have on my dresser, and the sound woke me up, and I tried to get back to sleep, but I couldn't.